The Pekin Bantam was brought to Britain from Peking, now known as Beijing in China, after marauders raided the Emperor's palace around 1860. The marauders were very bad spellers, and when the marauders presented the little chickens to Queen Victoria, the name Pekin stuck. Pekin Bantams are also very inquisitive birds, with an unusually large eye. They are often seen peeking around. It has been thought that through observing these birds, the baby game Peep-O may have been inspired. Now, where shall I start this documentary? With the chicken or with the egg? Oh, let's start with the chicken. I don't want to get into all that which came first, the chicken or the egg. That would scramble my brain. The Pekin is a true bantam breed, not a small version of a normal sized chicken. They hatch small and they stay small. Like a BSA Bantam motorcycle, it's never going to grow into a Triumph Thunderbird. The varieties of Pekin that I have at the moment are Millefleur, translated 1,000 flowers, and mottled. And when you cross the Millefleur with the mottled, I suppose you get 1,001 flowers. Another breed I have is the Colombian, but I'm not sure which part you get the coffee out of. And then there's the white and the lavender. Animal breeders always overstate the colours of their animals, calling them blue when they're really grey and red when they're brown, but I suppose black is always black. Baby Pekin chicks take 6 months to mature into adult birds, and what a surprise it must be for the female Pekins when she first lays an egg. What is this? Is it normal? Oh, it's okay. All the girls seem to be laying them. It must be normal. My sister-in-law also used to keep chickens, and every Easter morning she would put a chocolate egg in the nest box and take my little niece down to find the chocolate egg. She really believed that the chicken had laid a chocolate egg, and was so upset when aged about 10 she found out the truth and became really disenchanted. Ah, must be why she's a goth now. The bantam brain must be very small, but they do have quite a range of communication skills. Calling the chicks is okay, but full-blown cock-a-doodle-doo at 3 a.m. doesn't go down too well with the neighbours. The solution is to keep them in the dark and suppress their noise with a horse blanket, similar to the way that management treat their workers. The breeder can only keep one cockerel because they're so macho and they want to take on all contenders and want to fight to the death. Blood, sweat, tears, feathers. And the pretender seems to know there can only be one, and it spends much of his time preparing their prowess. After a Pekin Bantam has laid about 10 eggs, they get all hot and bothered and go broody, and sit on the eggs, regularly turning them with their beak and their feet. Not all the eggs will be good, and I creep out at night with a candling torch and check their progress. You always get at least one bad egg in a bunch. That's what they kept telling me at school anyway. I don't know why. When bantams go broody, they're good for the artist to draw because they stay very still.
That's her face, looking very protective and quite angry.
On day 21, The eggs hatch, and the broody Pekin is so happy, and they live happily ever after. Well, that's the way the fairy tale goes anyway. I'm a very tactile sort of person and like to keep picking the birds up. But sometimes they don't like it, and they have to employ diversionary tactics. There's a lot more that could be said about Pekin Bantams, but perhaps I'm not the best person to give advice. As far as I'm concerned, anything to do with chickens is just a poultry affair.